Good morning and welcome to another day of Walking with Jesus as we celebrate the beginning of a new year and as we conclude the Christmas tide. We have just a few more days in the Christmas season. The Christmas season technically ends on January 6th with Epiphany. So I thought it would be fitting for us to jump out of Luke and go to the birth narrative in Matthew and look at that. Now, we're going to go to Matthew 1:18 and following. And just so you know what comes before that in chapter 1, verses 1 to 17, is the genealogy of Jesus. I'm not skipping that because I don't think it's important. I am skipping it because when I actually taught through that on a Wednesday night, it took me about, I think, 7 or 8 weeks to get through that material. And to do it justice, you need to spend time looking at each of the names that are listed there or groups of names that are listed there. And I don't want to take time to do that right now. So we are going to be looking at Matthew 1, verses 18 and following. Now, the birth of Jesus Christ took place in this way. When his mother Mary had been betrothed to Joseph, before they had come together, she was found to be with child from the Holy Spirit. And her husband Joseph, being a just man and unwilling to put her to shame, resolved to divorce her quietly. But as he had considered these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not fear to take Mary as your wife, for that which is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet. This happens to be Isaiah chapter 7. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which means God with us. When Joseph woke from sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord had commanded him. He took his wife, but knew her not until she had given birth to a son, and he called his name Jesus. All right, so let's just kind of go back to the beginning of this and look at some things that are important. You know, we talked when we were in Luke about how Mary would have had that moment after the angel appeared to her where she would like, oh no, what have I just done? The angel is now gone. She's alone. She has conceived. At some point, that's going to start showing up, and the questions will arise. She's going to have to explain to her mom and dad. She's going to have to explain to her betrothed, Joseph. Obviously, there were some difficulties when she did this, because when she lets Joseph know, when he finds out, when she was found to be with child from the Holy Spirit, Joseph, who was a just man and unwilling to put her to shame, resolved to divorce her quietly. In other words, he's going to distance himself from this whole thing. He doesn't want to have her stoned, which he could have. But on the other hand, he's not sure he wants to be attached to someone who has been unfaithful to him. So he's going to divorce her quietly. And notice, even though they were only betrothed, they weren't married, the word divorce is the right way, because in that culture, betrothal was very near to what we call being married. But there's a period of time after the betrothal that the man prepares a place to bring his wife home, and then the wedding takes place. So the angel of the Lord, an angel of the Lord, maybe Gabriel, who knows, since he spoke to Mary, it doesn't say who it is, appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not fear to take Mary as your wife, For that which is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you will call his name Jesus. Once again, the angel gives him the same name, which is really good. That would be confusing if he told Mary one thing and Joseph another. For he will save his people from their sins. That's a modifier that didn't show up, I think, in Luke. I would have to go and check it for sure. But that's the point. Yahweh saves people from their sins. And all this took place to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet. Now, one of the things that's interesting, behold, the virgin shall conceive. I know many of you have perhaps heard this already, but when we're talking about the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, there was no one in Israel that was really looking for a virgin to conceive, to bear the Christ child. The language in the Hebrew really has a young woman, a young girl. Behold, someone who is young will bear, and it was tied more to the events of that day and age. So at this point in time, this is all news to Joseph. It's all news to those around him. And I just kind of wanted to let you know that sometimes, though God speaks clearly in hindsight, he doesn't speak as clearly as he would like him when we don't know exactly what lies ahead. And the Israelites, the Jewish people, for the most part, they kind of missed the birth of their Messiah. And the Jews today are still looking for the birth of their Messiah. And I want us to be careful, especially as we think about reading the book of Revelation or Ezekiel or Daniel, and we're thinking about the end of days and things of that nature. I just really want us to be careful and to realize that, chances are good none of us really know exactly how the Lord is going to return, what he's going to do. He's going to come like a thief in the night. No one knows when, the day, the hour. He's going to come suddenly and put an end to this age. He will be the triumphant king. Exactly what's going to happen before he comes is still something of a mystery. And I kind of want you to wrestle with that. His first coming was something of a mystery. We'll see in the next chapter that, they had to go and look, where's this Christ child going to be born? The wise men, the magi, they create questions, and there has to be a research project that goes on. So God doesn't always work exactly the way we think he's going to work. But as I say all of this now, I want to come to this last thing, not the last thing in the section, but they shall call his name Emmanuel, God with us. Now, as far as we know, Jesus was never called Emmanuel during his lifetime. I don't know that anyone called him by that name, but we do realize that he is Emmanuel. He is God with us. As the Gospel of John said, the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, glory as of the only begotten, full of grace and truth. God came and walked with us here on earth. And as we end this devotion for today, the thing that I want you to hold on to is the fact that God is still with us. Jesus said that he must go so that another comforter, remember we looked at that last time, the consolation of Israel, another comforter, the Holy Spirit, would be able to come. And now the Holy Spirit dwells within all who believe, and the Holy Spirit is wooing and drawing and convicting and working on us. And so God is with us. Since Jesus became flesh, God has walked with man here on earth. Wow, What a glorious thing. So as you walk with Jesus today, I want you to realize that you really are walking with the God who dwells within you. And may that comfort you. May it give you hope. And may you rejoice in that knowledge. May it give you confidence as you talk to people around you and proclaim the good news of the God who is with you. Well, God bless you as you walk with Jesus today.